Hi everyone. For today's card, I'm going to be playing with stamps and Distress Oxides. So I've taken a card base and I've cut this at 10 inches in width by 7 inches in length, folded that down the middle and give that a nice fold and burnish. My first matte layer piece is this beautiful pale green, and this is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and the top piece that I'm going to be working on is 6 1/2 by 4 1/2. So that's the cardstock that I'm going to be working with. I've taken out a couple of stamp sets, the Rococo Splendor Flourishes. Now these are really beautiful. I've popped this on the back. You get these really lovely flourishes. That's what I'm going to be using to stamp around the edge of my topper. I've also taken out the Papillion Paradise Flourish Sentiments, and I think for this one I'm most probably going to use Just For You. So again, they're really nice big stamps. We've got these tiny butterflies within that set as well, so I'm going to be using that. I might use from the Ticket Tape-tastic 2, the Essentials. I might in the center put Many Happy Returns. I don't know yet. I don't know if that one's gonna match with the front of the card, but we'll see. So if I take in my cardstock, and the smallest of the white pieces is the piece that I want to be stamping on, I'm going to take in a piece of kitchen roll and I'm just going to pop that down. I am going to be stamping off of the edge of this cardstock. The first bit of stamping that I want to do, I've got this lovely big flourish here, which we've got the left and the right facing. I'm just going to take in one of those, get that down on my mat, and I'm going to pick that one up with my stamping block. And I'm going to ink this one up in the Bundled Sage in the Distress Oxides. Just get a nice amount of ink on that stamp. And I'm doing this freehand. You can, if you want to, use your stamping platforms for this. But I want to do mine freehand. So I'm going off of the right hand side. I'm going off of the page. And I'm going to stamp that just in the corner. Give that a really nice press down. And we've now got this really pretty flourish going on in the corner. I'm going to stamp that up again. And this time I'm going to stamp the opposite side. So I'm going to twist my stamping block. I'm going to take that up. I could have used the opposite side stamp for this, but I don't want it to be absolutely perfect. I don't want it to be a mirror image, both sides. I want it to be different. So I've used the same stamp and I've just twisted it on an angle to get the look that I wanted. Now this little gap just up here would annoy me. So all I'm going to do is just pick a tiny area, pop some ink down on there, fill that in. So you can see I've just filled that little gap in with the Bundled Sage. And now I'm going to take in the Antique Linen in the Distress Oxides, and I'm going to ink this one up And I'm going to do exactly the same again, but this time I'm going to slightly offset this. Now the beauty of the clear stamping blocks is you can actually see through them, so you can see where you're going. So I'm just going to offset that slightly. This is the lighter colour. And can you see how now we've got this beautiful image going on? If you want that to look more of a shadow, then I would stamp it even closer to the first stamped image. Line it up even closer, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted to add the same image, but further apart. I'm going to do exactly the same that side. So we've now got this going on both sides. So that's our flourishes stamped. Just cleaned that one off and I'll pop that one straight back where it belongs. Within the Papillion Paradise Flourish sentiment, we've got these really pretty butterflies. Pop that over there a minute. I'm going to leave this on my kitchen roll. This really tiny butterfly down here. I'm going to pop that one down on my mat. I'm going to pick that one up. And I'm going to ink this up in the Shaded Lilac and Worn Lipstick. So take the lightest of the two colours and pop some ink on that one. And then with the darkest colour, just a tiny bit. Just a dab really. And on this first tiny swirl, I'm going to pop my first butterfly. So you can see that the butterfly is two-tone. Looks absolutely gorgeous. And I'm just going to continue that in a couple of areas. Now, what I think would look really pretty is if all the butterflies were different colours. I'm just sticking with the two colours at the moment, and I think this one will have just popping up in that space. If I ink this tiny one up again and just using the corner of the stamp, just pop a tiny bit of the second colour, and I think we'll have one just in that space there. So there's our third dinky butterfly. Give that one a quick clean off. Pop that one straight back. The next stamp I want to take out is the Just For You. So this is the sentiment that I'm using for the front. Down a minute, get that nice and straight. Pick that one up. And this time I'm going to ink this one up in the VersaFine Onyx Black. A nice amount of ink on that stamp. And I'm going to get this roughly in the center. It's not going to be exact. Nice and straight. And stamp that one down. And we've got our sentiment, Just For You. So can you see how this topper is starting to come together? And it's all about just choosing some stamps and creating your own topper images. For this one, I'm going to take in the Bundled Sage. And I'm going to ink this up again. Now within here we've got a couple of dinky butterflies, and I'm not going to mask those off. I'm just going to leave those. Now this time we really want to just offset this one. So I'm going to get that one really nicely lined up. And I'm just going to stamp that one down. And hopefully with this one I've created a shadow rather than having it, the stamping further apart. I can see that shadow. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it, and it looks absolutely beautiful. I might do that again actually and just take it a tiny bit further out. Was a little bit too close, I think. So we've inked that one up again. And we'll just stamp that one down. Now I can't lift this up because we will smudge it, but when you're using a clear block and you're trying to do a shadow, I can see to the left of my stamp that I've got a tiny line of black all around the wording, and that's how I decide where I'm going to stamp this down. So can you see that we've got this really beautiful bundled sage shadow going around those wordings, and that is absolutely perfect. I'm really pleased with that. I'll give that stamp a quick clean off. And I think that's all I want to do now with that one. So we'll pop that one back. I do want to take in a bigger butterfly. So we'll take in this slightly bigger one, I think, down here. Pick that one up. Pop my lid back on the Distress Oxide, and this time I'm just going to have a pink butterfly, and this one is just going to come in there. So I've got this really pretty pink one, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side, but in the milled lavender. Oh, actually no, this is shaded lilac. So this one's going this way. This one I'm going to have more down at the bottom and coming in. So there's that butterfly. Okay, so that's where we are with that. I am now going to mat and layer this one up. This first light green one, I'm going to pop down with some double-sided foam tape. I'll take my back ends halfway and the centre back ends we can remove completely. I should be packing boxes really, but I just can't face it today. Okay, so if we take back in our card base, and get this one nicely lined up. Get the same amount of border all the way around. and remove those backing tapes. And then our topper image is set on the top like so. And I think I might glue this one down. I don't want too much height. I wanted this to be a relatively flat card as I'm posting it. So all saves on the postage. You get that one nicely lined up. Turn that one over and give that a nice press down from the back. So that's where we are at the moment. Now if we take in the Ticket Tape-tastic 2, crikey, that's a mouthful, the essentials, I did want to put just many happy returns. So many happy returns. Take that one out. Get that one down on my glass mat, line that up nicely. Oh, that's just big enough. Pick that one up. So this is what to do when you mess up. I can't live with it, so we're going to do it again. Let's just quickly ink that one up again. Just get that one nicely lined up. Many happy returns. And this time I am going to use my paper trimmer. So line that one up. That's better. At least that looks straight. And then we can just fussy cut that down that end. Take a tiny bit more off of that end. And this one's going to sit just there. And I'm going to raise this one. And our many happy returns. I'm just going to get that edge nicely lined up. Oh, I think that looks really pretty. So there's always a way of getting over your mistakes. So these tiny butterflies, just add some glitter on these butterflies. Now that is going to make the ink run because it's Distress Oxide, so don't go too close to the edge and don't put too much, but we just need a tiny bit. So that's changed them up again. And then what I think I'll do is all around this outside first matte layer in a jagged motion. I'm just going to go all the way around the edge. So a tiny bit of glue, don't overdo the glue. And just on this bottom piece, bottom edge. And then again, just a tiny bit of glitter. And there we go. I just wanted to show you how you can make your own cards from scratch. So on the inside of this one then, just for you, many happy returns with love. So just open this one up and get that stamped down. Pick that one up. The VersaFine Onyx Black. Make sure your cardstock's nice and straight. And I'm just going to stamp with love. Beautiful. Yeah, just for you with love. I'm not going to tempt fate and try and shadow the inside. Or shall I? I'm a nightmare. I'm an absolute nightmare. Right, let's see. Shall we do it with the, let's do the opposite. So let's do it with the antique linen. You can see when it's lined up, and we're just gonna stamp that one down there. Gorgeous. If I show you the inside, shadow effect going on there. Maybe add a couple of white gems, and I'm just gonna place a few random ones. I think that would work actually. So if I just move these slightly out the way. Pop a tiny bit of glue down. And pop that one there, just on this side. So I think I'll have that one just there. So that's 1, 2, 3. How gorgeous is that tiny little card? And the nice thing about this is I know that there's not another one out there the same. It's lovely when you create your own little bit of art. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. Something a little bit different today. And until the next time, bye for now.